Alrighty, Wednesday, February 28th. Quick session recap here, starting off with ES. Now, the main zone we've been watching for the past couple of days is right through here, this 50.66 area of interest. Today was no different. Came into the session wanting to see how this prior breakout point was going to be treated. This is, again, prior breakout point from last Thursday's action, left a big unfilled gap here when we take a look at the regular trading hours chart, which we will do in just a moment. But essentially what we wanted to see today was whether buyers were going to defend this level of interest. We know this is a known area where buyers are expected to step in. We did see that buying activity during the pre-market session. Price never really looked back following that low that was made during the pre-market session. If we jump into actually the 15-minute chart here, can see that a little bit more clearly. Price marking the low there just below 50.66, catching a pretty immediate bid from that zone. Then you just have essentially what could be described as chop. It is another tighter range day. Price pretty much stuck here between that 50.86, 50.89 area down into the 50.70 area right through here, with some interesting activity versus the 50.75 level of interest. That was one of the main levels that I was looking at for today's session, along with that 50.66 prior all-time high. Now, when we zoom out just a little bit, just to get better context, better idea of what that main structure at play here is, there's no real update today, right? We do have that test of that key pivot. Price, what we want to see once that pivot is tested is price either forcing a change in character or breaking down, right? And neither of those scenarios played out today. So we just have an inside day, meaning on the daily time frame chart, it is just an inside bar, price trading within a new tighter range here for the past couple of sessions. What we're going to be looking at tomorrow, pretty straightforward, is how price trades versus today's tighter range. If we flip over to the daily chart, take the levels off of here so we could get some eyes on this, and you can kind of see what the setup is right through here. So your prior breakout point, if you can visualize that, and then essentially just an inside day, right? Little blip below that prior day low. But generally speaking, broadly speaking, majority of the action is just trading within that prior day's range. So we do have tighter range today, about a 20-point range, and keep in mind the normal ATR on ES is 50 points. So half an ATR move for yesterday's session, for today's session, even the day prior. Definitely tighter action, what we're seeing in ES. We do have PCE tomorrow, so I'll be looking for economic data to potentially show the change in character here on this prior daily breakout point. So that's about it for ES. Not a ton to update here, to be honest with you. Just looking at that 50.66 prior breakout point as the main area of interest heading into tomorrow. Now NQ going to be fairly similar, right? Trading right here at the same levels. This level right here that I have on my chart, gap below, reminds me I did want to look at that regular trading hours chart, because this is giving a lot of clues. If we flip onto the 15-minute chart, take a look at this. So last Thursday, you have that mega gap higher. Price, again, kind of testing that area of support. Buyers are definitely interested in defending this area as support, right through here between our 17,900 level of interest and then the true low from Thursday, that 17,864. You want to be keeping an eye on this zone. This is an important area for buyers. If it fails, big void below, big gap below, right? And so again, buyers very, very interested in defending that gap. Let's flip back to ES so you can see that one as well. So here we are, just looking again for context is the 15-minute regular trading hours chart. Key support right through here, and then keep an eye on that true low from Thursday. That's going to be significant level. It aligns nicely with our 50-50 level of interest. So we call it good right there. But again, big gap below. If price starts to trade down into that gap, you want to be extremely cautious with any long trades because the attempt is going to be for a complete gap fill. All right, so on NQ, just circling back here, near-term range. Near-term range, we've got essentially 5 sessions of range trading with a series of lower highs through here. Right, so price is getting pretty tight here near that area of support. Tomorrow, most likely, or perhaps on Friday, but I suspect with PCE tomorrow, we're going to see some type of notable move, some type of move outside of, at the very least, today's range, which will either force that change in character or you'll see that breakdown and that potential gap fill. So main pivot that remains on watch on NQ is that 17,900 area. That's going to be the main level I'm looking at into tomorrow. Following PCE, and then on ES, it's the 50.66. So not a lot to update here. Pretty much the same levels we've been watching for the past couple of days. Structure remains unchanged, right? Now, individual names, we have AI. There's a post-earnings play that we're going to be looking at. Big range right through here. We want to see if earnings can potentially resolve the range. And then we have ZM, continuation play. This worked nicely today as a second-day play, above that 67.5 up into PT1. Good action through there. We want to see potential continuation here in Zoom, ticker symbol ZM. So that's about it for today's session. Overall, much slower session, right? Price just trading within that range. This can be perceived as chop, definitely. So if you struggle with that slower price action, those tighter ranges, this is a day to be sitting out, making sure you're getting involved again with great location. Location makes everything easier, even if it is a choppier session. It can really save you a lot of headache there. So hope everyone had a profitable day. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out in the Traders Think Tank. Go ahead and send me a DM. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the pre-market prep live stream. Later.